Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Eject AMA on the 27th of June. I'm joined with David. David is the lead developer for the Eject platform and the brains behind the whole concept and the idea and the execution. And he's here with me. And David has been responsible for being in this crypto investment field and being quite used to the scams and rug pulls. He came up with this brilliant idea that something needs to be done about it, and I'll let David introduce the rest. Dave, you there? I'm just going to check where Dave is. Bear with me. I'm going to put the music back on.
I was talking the entire.
Right, guys, I think Dave is here now. Yes, I can hear you now, Dave. Brilliant. So Dave, let me introduce Dave. He is the lead developer for the Eject platform, eject.space. He is the person who came out with the idea that, we've had too much of scams and rug pulls and deception in the cryptosphere, especially with the launch of new coins. So Dave came up with this idea of building a crowdfunding platform that would be the safe go-to place for people who want to invest safely. A lot of you already know Dave, but I'm giving an introduction for people who watch on YouTube later. Dave, please take it from here.
Thank you for the intro. Thank you, Steve. I'm getting too much of the credit. I think this is something that we both came up with, and also something that we've received a lot of help from our community in developing. Now we're very excited because we're able to present some of the results that we were able to achieve in the past few weeks. We've launched about 26 days ago, and now we can proudly say that we are close to getting ready with the platform. Today we're going to show a quick peek at what the platform should look like, the final version of the phase 1 platform. As most of our investors know, we will be releasing multiple phases of the platform. The first one will not allow investors directly, but that will come shortly on the phase 2 platform after the release of phase 1 platform. I think I'll just dive straight into it. I think we've discussed what Eject is about, and if people are not very familiar with the concept, they can just go read our white paper or check out our website. We will actually update our website shortly to add an FAQ section for new investors to easily be able to understand what the project is about without maybe reading the full 10-page white paper. Now, let's go over each element of this main page. Today, we're not going to go over the profile page because there's still certain things that we need to discuss there and revisit. But we are quite certain that this is the main page that we are trying to achieve. This is currently what the coding team is directed towards. We've received a great help from one of our community members, whose name is Yassine, who's helped us design this very beautiful layout. This is more of a wireframe, and this is basically what we're going to follow. Now, on the left side, we're going to go element by element. On the left side, we can see a few buttons. I think, Steve, you can hover over them. It's not fully interactive yet, but this is more simply a model. On the left side, we can see the home button, the watchlist button, and as we can see as well on the right side, people can simply like a project to add them to their watch list. The community button will link people directly to our Telegram group, where people will be able to join our community. The notification button, I can go into more details as to what the purpose of that button is. Basically, when following a project, investors will be allowed to get notified about the developments of that project by receiving email notifications. Further down the line, we're thinking of maybe having an app and therefore having mobile notifications. But as of now, it will be most likely email notifications and notifications within the website. So every time you log into your account on Eject, you'll see the notifications regarding the new projects that you've been following, and then the settings to adjust the layout and certain things regarding your account. At the bottom left, we see the Submit Your Project button that people will be, and by people I mean developers, will be able to click. That will open up a form, a very detailed form, where developers will have to include a lot of information regarding the project they want listed on the Eject platform. It will also lead them to either our KYC or doxing process, where people will be asked to reveal their identity to us. And that will be necessary in case they want the Eject verified style. Now, looking at the middle of the page, we can see at the top the Search All Assets bar. We think it's essential to have a search bar. It's not present in a lot of websites, but we think it's very important for people to be able to quickly look up maybe a project they're interested in. Going down, let's detail each button individually. The All Project button will allow investors to select between meme coin, series coins, and hybrid, which are basically coins that do not classify in either of those two categories. The doxed toggle will allow investors to see only projects that have been doxed. Since we include a KYC process, we have yet to decide whether or not projects that have been through the KYC process will be categorized as doxed or undoxed. But we believe we will categorize them as doxed. For the audited toggle, the projects that have received audits from a well-known firm will be displayed once the toggle is switched on. And finally, for the Eject verified, which we later on will simply call verified, because I mean this is simply a mean of displaying that it is Eject verified. When you switch this toggle on, you only see the projects that we Eject have approved of and have agreed to classify as Eject verified. Now, going down in the ranking and looking at the rankings, we can see each criteria by which the projects are. We can see that projects we will display whether or not projects have been audited, whether or not they've been Eject verified, whether or not they have been doxed, the launch date, as well as the impressions, which at first we were thinking of going with a simple color code, but we think that maybe having ratings from 1 to 10 might be a better option to display with more clarity what the overall impression of that project is on the community. And the button on the right side opens up the full profile page of that specific project. Now, excuse me 1 minute. I'll get disconnected for a second. On the right side, on the right-hand side of the page, what we can see here is a little extract of what the project page will be. And basically what this would allow users to do is that without having to click the button that opens up the full project page, they will be able to see basic information regarding that project, as well as access the basic links for that project. So here we can see on the overview side, there will be a few lines explaining what the project is about. The total supply of the project, and the top comment from one of the project's posts within the project profile page. And when clicking on the links, see if you may click on the links, we are able to see all the important links regarding that specific project, meaning the contract, the white paper, the website, the chart, as well as the code if people are interested in that, and some important social media links. And what we see at the bottom right is basically what phase 2 of the platform will be about. The back this project button. What we are very proud in phase 2 is that feature. Now, of course, we are trying to come up with phase 1 platform as soon as possible, which hopefully will people share our vision. And as soon as we are done with that, we will go to phase 2 and allow people to directly back projects in similar fashion to websites like TXSale or Unicurrent. Now, of course, within our platform, there will be additional restrictions for projects, since we're trying to make sure that our projects are safe, that they're not rug pulls, and therefore, in order to create a pre-sale or some form of raise funding process within our platform, you as a developer will have to respect certain rules, which we will implement in the back this project section. I think I've discussed everything we see here. Regarding our deadlines, we had announced that phase 1 of the platform should be ready by the end of next month. We are very, very excited to announce that this deadline will be respected. We should be ready by then with the fully tested version of phase 1 of the platform. Regarding what you guys are able to see right now, I would love to have questions if anybody has any form of questions, or maybe something that that people need to know about. So Luke is asking, is this also being optimized for mobile and various screens? Of course, the website will be accessible on both mobile and regular computer screens. The way the layout will function on those different screens has yet to be decided, and what we have thought about is to get rid of the right-hand side on mobile, because we think it might crowd the website too much. Simply keep the rankings with some form of filtering function, and every time you click on a project, you open the project page. But we don't think we're going to have the same exact display on mobile. And very good question. And again, if anybody has any more questions, we can keep. I'm glad to answer those. Regarding the theoretical aspects of the platform and how the platform will work, I think that we haven't changed much. We have not altered many things compared to what we have announced in previous AMAs. Steve, maybe you want to add a couple things. I'll give the floor back to you, and then after that, if there's any questions, I'll go into more details.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, a couple of things that I'd like to add is that, first of all, this is what the main screen is going to look like. This is one of the iterations. As you can imagine, that when you are designing a new project, there's a lot of input, there's a lot of variation that's happening. By the way, I just got a message from Luke saying that he approves of this, and that is very good news, and I'm happy that, Luke, you like it. Maybe I can go a little bit more in detail. So the projects that you see here, this screen fairly comprehensively summarizes the main things that are important to eject, which is things like whether the project is audited, verified by us, whether they're doxed, launched. But this is not all. If you have a look at this bit here, this gives you a rough idea of how the internal, on the bottom right corner, you can see the top comment by Crypto No Sleep, and that is our brother Yasin. He's probably got no sleep while working on this. But this bit is a very quick sneak peek into the back end of what Eject community will be based upon, and that is a karma system, like a Reddit style karma system. Now, the reason why we have designed this is if you let's say are an avid investor and you have a lot to add, and you have been sort of a very helpful community member, the way the present system is is that on Telegram, for example, let's say if you are a person who brings real knowledge, your message is going to bury down in these wild, shilling images and things like that. Well, the point I'm trying to make here is that in the way the cryptosphere is structured right now, there is no real weightage given to how important a person's feedback has been over time. And this is something that's very, very important, because think about veteran investors, people who know how to gauge the effectiveness of a project, or people who know how to read into the details of a project. Now, if these people have equal say compared to an absolute newcomer, or a person who's just been bought to shill a project, then the community aspect will be as good as it is now, which is on Telegram. So we thought, how is it that we can one up on that? How is it that we can do something where people whose views really matter come and shine to the top? And this is a sneak peek into that. So there's a lot more coming there. And as the days progress and you see other layouts and other inside screenshots of what we were developing, you'll see more about that. But this, along with the eject verification, along with the kind of seriousness that this project provides, will all contribute significantly to making this the platform that you go to find new tokens, new coins to invest in. And I think that's a very important point that I wanted to relay here. Now, the three little radio boxes that you see on top, the flip-flop boxes, doxed, audited, eject verified, there might be others that join these lists, which we are not 100% sure of right now. We're still working on that. And that would be things like on the left-hand side, you see all projects. You'd be able to select them by the type of project. You might be able to say, okay, I only want meme coins to be displayed, stuff like that. And everything that will be displayed will be based on a timeline factor. Now, again, there will be a filter to do that, but by default, the view will be based on how recent something is. Because, and the reason why we've done that is we've seen that a lot of people who are our target investors are looking for new opportunities. And I think that is a big problem that we want to solve. Have the same audiences that are going to places like Coin Hunt, or why did we get this massive pump when we listed on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap? It's because people are looking for new opportunities. So we don't want to miss out on that huge market. And once we do that, we also want to make sure that it's safe. That's now everything that you've seen here. Dave, let me know when you want me to stop, because I can go on about this for 5 hours.
No, you're doing fine. But thank you for that's also one of the things that I was going to mention, but we've talked about it so many times. You're totally right. The karma system is probably one of the key elements in our platform. But go ahead. I want to jump.
Yeah, and that's fine. The only other thing that I was going to say was that yes, so everything that has been shown via the screen is only for phase 1. But do bear in mind that Eject is much more than that. It's actually a real working crowdfunding platform that we're trying to build. And this is where this button in the bottom right corner, back this project, this is where this comes into play. Once the second iteration is out, you'll see a lot more functionality. When you click on this back this project button, you'll be able to back it in multiple ways, including, and at that point in time, also, this is another thing that's very important for potential or existing investors to know. Why is Eject a good hold? Why is Eject something worth your money? Because when that iteration of the platform arrives, people will be able to back projects using their Eject tokens. Now, that will not be the only way to back it. There will be BNB as well. But why would people do that then, right? They will do that because we will give huge developer discounts if they are using the Eject token, which then would encourage people to have a lot of Eject tokens for use on the platform. And that is how we see in the long term the value of the Eject token rising. And that is why you should hold on to Eject. That is not the only source of revenue, by the way. we are, I think Dave mentioned this in yesterday's AMA, and that is also very important, that we are an actual money-making enterprise. So although what this will do is it will raise the value of the eject token, but at the same time, eject will have multiple other ways to make revenue. And that revenue is important for the growth of eject, because the way we're structured right now, we don't have infinite funds for marketing. We don't have infinite development funds. So it has to work. It has to be profit-making. It has to be a profit-making venture for us to earn money and reinvest and make this into a massive project. I think that's just a couple of things I wanted to touch on, Dave. I'm done.
Very, very good inputs. I think you're absolutely right to mention the, let's say, business aspect of it, because not only is it basically a platform with a use case out there, but it's also something that we are creating in order to make it into a successful company. And it is that motivation that drives us to create this, and to create something that not only can people be proud of, but that can help us create something successful. And we have discussed, and it's something that I keep thinking about, we have discussed token buyback approaches and strategies, and we're not sure we will be able to achieve that. However, something that we have done that is in that direction and that will help this project greatly is that we are in contact with our main investors, the main holders of eject, and those are people that we trust and that trust us deeply. We've created a strong bond with those investors. They truly believe in the idea of eject, and I personally, and I think I can speak for you as well, Steve, I genuinely believe that those people are here to stay for the long term. Some of those people want to launch their own project using eject. Some of those people are helping us on a daily basis to make eject into a successful enterprise. So for that, we thank them, and we also want to reassure the community that this has become much more than simply a token that is traded on PancakeSwap. It's become a startup with investors that are basically shareholders more than anything, and it is aimed at becoming a successful company. Luke is asking, first of all, Savanta is asking whether or this will have the dark mode. Dark mode is something that's easy to implement. We are thinking of having a dark mode where everything that is in purple right now would be in white, and everything else would be in a dark purple. But it's something we have yet to test to see if it's actually aesthetically pleasing. And as of now, we got most of our inspiration from the layouts from sites such as Coinbase, CoinMarketCap, a little bit from CoinHunt, and we believe that this white layout looks very nice. It's user friendly. It's slick, and again, as I said, it's not very hard to implement the dark mode within any website, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Luke is asking any plans for an app in the future. It's something that will eventually have to exist. We're dreaming big for eject, and we're working hard. So it would be limiting to only have a website and to only have something that's accessible on the internet, and something that you cannot access through some form of app. The only problem with that is that we have to create some form of cross-platform connection between everything that's happening on the website and everything that's happening on the app. Something that others were able to do very, very well, like CoinMarketCap. If you get listed on the website, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get listed on the app, and the opposite is also true because they don't have that integration. It's not automated. So we would probably have to work on that separately. But again, we are dreaming big with eject, and it's definitely something that has to happen down the line, and that therefore will happen down the line. It's just, we believe it's just not our priority for phase 1, nor is it for phase 2. But as soon as we are done with the eject platform and that people are able to automatically back projects on the eject platform, then we can discuss within the boundaries of phase 3 and everything that will be added in phase 3. We can discuss those options and hopefully expand to apps on iOS and Android.
Dave, do you want to? Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yes, go ahead. No, you go.
Do you want to touch on the partnership that you're working on?
Oh, absolutely. So I just came across this website that I'll since we have yet to close the partnership, I'll just keep it private for now. But we came across this website that's we think they're doing very good work in the, I would say, anti-rug pull movement, and they work and the way their website functions. They would not be competitors for Eject, and their services could be very complementary to ours. And since we know that our community is eager to see developments, and that maybe 1 month is a little bit too much for the community to see the Eject platform come to existence, we are discussing a partnership that can happen any day, maybe a week or 10 days from now. And this partnership would allow projects to already have the Eject name on them, especially projects that have been verified by this third-party platform. And it will help get our name out there and funnel some traffic towards the Eject platform as soon as the Eject platform is released. So stay tuned on that. Hopefully, and I truly believe that we should get good news. Hopefully it should be achieved by the end of next week, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after.
Perfect. Well, if there are no other questions, we can possibly move on to the lottery. And
maybe if I may add one little thing. By our next AMA, we should be, I'm confident we are going to be able to present the layout of the project page within each, whenever you click on a project, you see the full project page with all the details, the information, with a section where the community can interact, and all the features we are still thinking about and are trying to implement. So by next AMA, I guarantee that we will have that project page available for people to see, and we will do the same thing as today. We'll explain how everything works within the project page.
Awesome. Brilliant. Well, since we are always on the community, mostly, and we have a brilliant set of mods and community helpers. If you do find yourself asking a question that has not been answered in the AMA, jump into our Telegram community. The link is in the video description, and feel free to join us, invest in Eject, and ask any questions. Once again, the last thing I'm going to do before I start the lottery is just to remind you all that we are not even a month old yet. And, we've taken on a huge project. So don't worry about the ups and downs of the chart too much. I know people have, and I'm the head of marketing, so I should address this. People have had questions about where's the marketing? Why is no marketing happening? Why are we not attracting new investors? These are all very valid questions. But you have to understand that I've said this multiple times in the past, that at this point in time, the focus is to form partnerships. The focus is to protect the marketing wallet, not sell a lot of tokens for a very cheap price, which is going to come out of the liquidity pool anyway. Dave and I have already invested, I'm not going to name a figure, but thousands of dollars of our own money into this. So we know what we're doing. We are protecting the interests of our investors as best as we can. And when we say that, no immediate marketing is immediate marketing and shilling and promoting ourselves to YouTube without providing proof like we're doing now is is not a panacea. It's not the solution to anything. So stick with us, and any questions, feel free to join the community. Now I'm going to go on to the number wheel picker, and we're going to pick one number between 2 and 51. And the number that wins will win 5 trillion eject. This is, and the wallets, let me share my screen. This is the wheel picker that we'll be using. And there is an Excel file that I've already, Google Sheets file that I've already shared earlier on the Telegram community. That sheet has all unique values. Last week we drew 2 lotteries, but one was invalid. So we're doing the second lottery today. Everybody who did participate, I wish you the best of luck. Let me change that from 2 to 51. And here we go. Good luck. And thank you everybody for participating once again. Number 28, I'm just gonna, for the benefit of transparency, I'm going to announce that the last few digits of the winning wallet are capital D 460964. Brilliant, congratulations. We have all the details. I will be contacting the winner on their Telegram, and we wish everybody the best of luck. Thank you once again for joining us today's AMA. Dave, if you have any closing comments, you're welcome to give them.
I just want to share again my excitement for this. I'm also very happy that we finally have something to show the community for the work that's been done. And I want to reiterate the fact that a lot of work is being done every single day because we want to respect our deadlines, and now we're and again, we're very excited for what's about to come. So everybody stay tuned. And if you have any more questions, as Steve said, feel free to join our community. We will be there to answer to your questions.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for joining. Have a good rest of Sunday, and we'll see each other next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye everyone.